Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Yellow.
You want this.
First carry for Nick Chubb. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. A toss play to Chubb. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's got his man on the out route. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
I'm coming after you. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
15. 15.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Hey, here I come.
Following the penalty, Chubb, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Check.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's third down.
Third and 8.
Fire down these two.
You're not ready.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down and 10 yards to go.
Yellow. I've got little A.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Right side.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Yellow. 180.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
Right side.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. DJ Reader in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And this one is right through. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
At their own 25-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. It's a second down run with Sanders. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's get it.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the gun, here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
A run for Nick Chubb, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Attack, attack! Come back! Attack!
Mahomes going to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Micah Kiser was in on the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Focus, defense, focus. Hey, watch it, watch it.
15. Yellow.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
And the Texans 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Kill.
Back to throw, Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
1st and 10.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Second down 6 at the 29-yard line.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Mahomes now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Drops it off for Chubb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Game situation. Let's go.
Now it's Mahomes again. And going deep for Hill. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Watson to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
A shotgun snap for Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Here's Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. Throwing again. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Watson now to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get on the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Here's Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
What's that? 19! To the car! To the car!
On first down, Sanders. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the Chiefs' 46-yard line.
What's that? 19!
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Throwing on second down, Watson. He's got Fuller. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
What's that? 19! 19-5!
Watson on first down. It's wearing the tight end with him. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Dorian O'Daniel, third-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Check 56. Hey, 59. He's checking.
Alert. 24 down, he's coming. Hey, 59. Get on him, go.
They'll run with Sanders. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough.
Mike spoke ball. So we got man. 44's the Mike.
We own it.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Yellow. Let's go, Artie.
You can't block me.
Hey, Riplis.
Now Mahomes. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
First down, Houston.
What is that? 19. 24.
56. All day, just like that. Just like that. Check 24. Check 24.
They'll run with Sanders. And he stopped immediately there. Kendall Fuller in on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Check 9, check 9.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson completes it to the fullback, Ham. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throwing on third down, Watson. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On second and 9, Mahomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. Third and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On third and long, it's Mahomes. And going deep. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Reed. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover, put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
We ain't giving them nothing with that.
Another run with Sanders, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 11-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Watson on 3rd down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Albert Wilson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Right there, 56. Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 1st down, it's Sanders. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Sanders, and he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory, and never an easy thing to come into Arrowhead and get the victory. One of the toughest places to play in the league, but they did it.
Some of the best fan support in the league. They take pride in it. They love their team. They rally around them, good and bad. But when it's good, oh, it is so difficult to come into this place and get a win. From the time they sing the national anthem and finish it with the home of the Chiefs, you're in trouble right from that moment usually.